What's up, dudes? Welcome back to another episode of Rhomas Men's Team. Pretty simple. We are a group of guys helping each other make progress towards each other's goals. If you're new to the channel, awesome and welcome. If you want to help support the channel and join our pro team, head over to romasteam.com/pro, where you can contribute to us on a donation basis. We also give you access to exclusive content, mastermind groups, etc., etc. So anyway, hope you enjoy this episode, and we'll see you on the team. We are live, Rhomas Men's Team. It's pretty straightforward. We talk about each other's goals as men. No women allowed, of course. Ray, seriously, man, it's good to see you.
Thank you.
It's been dude. I was on the phone with Matt yesterday, and I do not like to talk about stress because I just erroneously earmark it in my mind as like a weakness. But I do think it's healthy to talk about because it's like, oh, if other guys are going through it, the amount of pressure that I've been feeling for the last probably pretty solid 12 months, maybe a little bit more, has been a very real thing. Like to the point of like where it feels like, you feel nauseous at times, just a very rare, that's not an exaggeration,
Right.
So it's good. It's good to be able to hang out with buddies and have good conversations, man, because in times of just freaking like, you just feel like there's an elephant sitting on your chest.
Right.
So yeah. Anyway, buddy, good to see you.
Yeah, dude. I don't think we need to bring our wives and girlfriends into the conversation, but you can just invite them to get off your chest. But anyhow, good to see you too, dude. I guess I was away I was with my daughter for Canadian Thanksgiving on Monday, and I think you were at a conference on Friday. So it has been a minute since we've gotten together.
Might be the longest we haven't seen each other in like 4 years.
Look, I want you back in my life. I want us to restart and rebuild. I can't do this without you. Okay. I can change. Okay. I wonder how our friend Luke from Dublin is doing. Did you see him in the chat? Or if
no,
you see
he's
him?
not here right now. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll have to bring him back on when he's on.
It feels good, the small way in which I'm able to provide leadership for young men. To just share whatever wisdom or whatever do what I did or don't do what I did kind of advice. It's really rewarding, and so I wanted to thank you for this gift of this this magnificent brotherhood we have here.
Oh no, right back at you, man. This is really an anchor for me. I just got off of a pitch, an investment pitch that we worked really hard on, and it's seeming I had to jump off to get to this, but I stayed up until 3:15 in the morning, and then had to wake up at 5:10 in the morning. And that's not a humble brag, right? But it's just like
brutal
sometimes. Yes. And then I got another pitch right after this. So it's just like, I guess whatever part of my story I could share that could help other men, it's like there are times, and that for me has been the last year, like things like that. There are times where you just have to suck it up, right? Like that. Who told us that quote of like happiness is for women and children? I want to add to that quote of also like certainty, right? Like happiness and certainty and stability are for women and children, because man, my freaking life over the last year has like had none any like it just has none of it, And I'm happy about the progress and the journey. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to be ungrateful, but man, it's been a fucking ride, man.
Yeah, dude. And that being okay with uncertainty is a real adult skill. Nothing is more certain than like the being cozy and under the blanket in bed with the lights off, but we can't we can't live there. We can't work there. We can't make a difference there. We can't help others there. We can't create value for others there. And so uncertainty is for sure located outside of my comfort zone, outside of that pillow and blanket. And
Yeah.
for me, part of the maturing process, and it's a process, I'm not there yet, but part of the maturing process is being okay with uncertainty, you know?
Yeah.
And I mean, what comes to mind is like the healthy habits, like our scorecard, and other ways in which you can have a strong foundation of self makes navigating that uncertainty that much easier. And so, talk to me about some of your anchors, maybe over the last year, maybe for always, that that help you be resilient in moments or seasons of uncertainty.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, this is going to sound oversimplified, but the thing that's been saving me over the last year is just the mantra of I'm going to change my family tree. Right? Like at times that is the only freaking thread that I have to hang on to. It's just like that mantra. Like will this help me change my family tree? Or remember, this is helping change your family tree, or any derivative of that. Because there are times where it's just like, oh man. But the cool thing, the other thing I want to throw out there is I've been trying to do exercises in hand selecting my emotional state, and at least what I display, and not in a manipulative way, right? But in a like, hey, remember, you get to choose the emotion. And at bare minimum, you get to choose the emotion that is displayed to the person across the table.
Cool. Yeah, I like that. I like the distinction you've made between what you're feeling and what you're telegraphing, right? Because what comes to mind is like sometimes you have to pick your battles, right? And sometimes you just have to listen to bad news and just, think to yourself, this is the battle, not the war. And it might not serve your long-term interests. It might not serve
Yes.
your future self to throw the tantrum, or that is raging inside of you.
Oh yeah, and to make it practical for people, so I mean, I could give you 25 stories from the last week, but let's say, for example, working with a client, have done like the business that I'm in, like the finance business is it's like a large degree objective, right? So if you have a client, like you can point to like, hey, here's the value that was created, numerically. And was working with a client yesterday, and the conversation was, now we are adjusting our fees, so that was the origin of it, right? But like, and we are increasing them, but it's like a display of like, hey, here's the value. And in my opinion, it is like objectively like a ton of value, and like not only that, objectively a ton of value relative to what they were doing prior to our relationship. So then this person is just, I know this person, and they just automatically, it's like, well, like prove to me why I should pay more, essentially. And like that type of like delivery.
So hold
right
on,
now,
Wes. You telling me you're going to charge me for something you used to give me for free, and I'm supposed to just sit here and take it?
Right. Yeah, that exactly. Spot on. That's why I love talking. Like, yes, that's a
Oh,
very
I can be
good
a grumpy
reason.
client. I can be a grumpy client. I can be that guy.
Yeah. And now the emotion, right, as you can imagine, that I felt during that time is not going, if I display that, it's not going to serve my long-term goal, to your point, right? But then you have to like manage the, well, you still, like, this is a coaching type of situation. There's a hierarchy here, right? Like a doctor just doesn't say, oh, okay, well, great, I'll just do whatever you want. No, it's like there still needs to be this like hierarchical positioning. So it's at these moments where I'm trying to say, hey, Wes, remember, you pick the emotion to display. What do you like? What will changing your family tree? You remembering that? What emotion are you going to put on the table now? And adjusting the words, the tonality, and so on. So then it comes out, instead of something like, screw you, man. Like, whatever is going inside of me comes out of something like, no, that's a total fair point. Totally understand what you're saying. Also, just so you know, this is a business decision for you and your family. So if it doesn't serve you value, if we haven't demonstrated that to the degree that you see as sufficient, then I understand you could totally leave. Right. But if you choose to stay, that's great too. So whatever's best for you and your family, we'll keep doing what we're doing and so on. And so that's what I chose to go with. But that's an exercise. And I've got to do that on literally a daily basis.
Yeah. It's like, it's a strange juggling act we have to do, isn't it? Because we have to be honest with ourselves and like own our emotions. Like that's what the modern man is supposed to do. Kind of like, but then again, it's this weird kind of like conflicting set of values where you have to own your emotions. You're not supposed to bury them until they become combustible, but you're also supposed to have mastery over your emotions. So like you feel it, you are the rock in the river with the water going around it, and so you're supposed to feel the negative emotion going around you, but choose the time and place when you will activate it. Yep. Right. So it's like, I suppose we're supposed to acknowledge the emotion, put it on the shelf, and say, when the time is right, I'll pull the pin out of that grenade and throw it. But for now, it goes up on the shelf. Yeah. And it's not easy.
Yeah. Now, to be fair, I have no idea if this is healthy. Right? One of the things is very clear, right? Like, because essentially what I'm telling you is like, yes, bottle up your emotion, put it somewhere in your elbow where nobody else can see it. So that way you can display something that is beneficial to you and what you are trying to accomplish. And by the way, like giving value to others. Again, I'm not saying be manipulative here. I'm saying to choose strategically what is the best option for you and the other person on the other side of the table. It would serve nobody, myself included, and the client on the other side, for me to explode. That
to
serves
fight fire with
no
fire.
Exactly, right? Serves no benefit.
To escalate, like in the right, to escalate, to fight fire with fire, right?
Now, I'm not a psychologist.
To diffuse and persuade maybe was the proper application of your energy in that situation.
Yeah, and I don't know about you, Ray, and again, I have no idea whether or not this is an appropriate recommendation. It's just what I do for myself. Like, I feel like emotional equilibrium is right, like when the scales are balanced, like when it's neutralized. So for me, knowing that I have a choice, for some reason psychologically neutralizes the negative side. So it's like, yeah, I feel this and I know I'm making a proactive choice, and then boom, okay, good. Hands are clean. I start tomorrow off a net neutral. Versus, oh, I feel this way. I'm just burying it because I don't know how to deal with it, right? But then I wake up tomorrow morning with a residual. So I don't know if that makes any sense, but for some reason it seems like the choice aspect and specifically the choice that I know is congruent with what I want to accomplish somehow for some reason allows me to neutralize whatever negative emotion otherwise would have been residual in moving forward.
Right. I think, and another contrast that comes to mind is engaging in healthy conflict.
Yes.
Versus and then not engaging in unhealthy conflict, right?
Yes.
Versus conflict avoidance altogether. So conflict avoidance altogether would be the unhealthy way of dealing with it. And the healthy, mature way of dealing with it is knowing when to engage in healthy conflict and knowing when engaging in the conflict does not serve your interests.
Yes. 100%.
So, yeah. So it's I guess, and like everything, it's a practice, right? We probably have to engage in a certain amount of unhealthy conflict for years before we can build up the wisdom or the strategic thinking. And, I'm sure there's some kind of brain science behind it, right? Where you have to activate your frontal lobe instead of your lizard brain in the back, right? When you're in conflict.
Yeah, and I think there's something to be said for, you know, there's a certain intuition that you have when you know that not engaging in certain conflict is knocking you down a rung on the ladder of the hierarchy. And I think that's where the residual side effects stem from
Hmm.
oftentimes.
Hmm.
Like, if I know I should say something, but I don't because I'm scared, that
Right.
is different than saying
Right.
I'm not going to say that thing because it doesn't serve an advantage or a benefit to either party for me to. Those are two. It might be the same outcome of, hey, I'm still not saying the thing, but there are two different underlying origins and intention as to why. So I wonder if that has something to do with whether or not it's like a negative or a positive balance moving forward.
Right. And I think that that when fear is ruling you, um, in a conflict, that's I guess when you're overpowered by fear, that's when you move into conflict avoidance. Whereas if you are intelligently, or if you are engaging or disengaging from healthy conflict with emotional intelligence, I think that is when you're not governed by fear, but it's more like a chess move, right?
Yes,
Where you can,
exactly.
like, you can think about 2 or 3 steps ahead, when, if you choose, you will act on whatever stimulus is coming at you.
Yeah, 100%. And Ray, I don't know if you know this, but your camera's off. Not that it's a big deal, but
Oh,
in case you want it to be on.
yeah, I do.
So I would encourage anybody who's up for it to really try that on. Of, can you proactively, and like, I guess I should say, in real time, select the emotion that you want to display. Not, again, not to be manipulative, but to be strategic and to serve yourself and those around you. Again, to reiterate, it does not serve anybody to blow up. There's never been a situation, at least that I can remember, that it's like, oh yeah, I'm really happy I blew up that time, right? Because it just made everything better. Yelling louder, that works all the time, as we know. Kidding, obviously. Um, so I would want you guys to consider doing that. Like, I guarantee if you pay close enough attention, within 30 minutes of leaving this meeting, you will very likely find an opportunity to hand select the emotional state for it, trade it for a better one than the default that you originally feel. Right? Do you think that's a fair statement?
Absolutely, dude. I think, yeah, like, life enables us to practice these things multiple times a day. And that's the thing. Like, it's not like it's a skill that you have to learn by the time you're 18, or else you can never acquire it, right? Life offers us opportunities, multiple opportunities every day to practice this. What comes to mind is road rage, right? So if someone cuts you off, does it okay? And you choose not to cut them off, like race ahead and cut them off to get even, right? If you choose not to do that, is that conflict avoidance, or is that knowing, like understanding the consequences of when escalation is required and de-escalation is required, right?
Right. Yeah, I mean, could also maybe almost argue that's the difference. One of the main differences between being a man and being a boy.
Yeah. And also, by the way, that is definitely escalating if you ever say that to someone's face,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, right, like one of the key characteristics of like crossing into manhood is doing things despite how you feel,
Yeah.
or not doing things despite how you feel.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's, for a lot of us, we should probably, including myself, by the way, we should consider reflecting on that. Yeah, this has been a resounding theme again over the last 12 months. And I just wanted to open that up for discussion with you guys because it's been a wild year. And you could either let that mean, oh, it's the most distressful thing that you've ever experienced, or you can let it mean, hey, yes, it is stress, but it's you stress, meaning the good kind of stress. And therefore it's more empowering, because if you can create the narrative simultaneously of like, oh, this is what I will tell my kids one day about these stories. Hey, dudes, sorry for the interruption here. Just wanted to let you know, if you want to join our pro team, go to romasteam.com/pro. You can help support the channel. You will also get access to exclusive content, masterminds, one-on-one sessions, etc. All right, back to the episode. I think just sometimes, right? It's just like you have to be so attracted to the win, like literally the trophy at the end of the work, because sometimes the work just sucks, right? Like sometimes you're not going to love the journey at all. In fact, you're going to hate it. I think that's important to acknowledge, because some guys listening to this might say, well, hey, it's cool that you guys talk about love what you do and love the journey. It's more about the journey than it is the destination. But sometimes the opposite frame or a different frame is meant to be used. No, sometimes it is purely about the reward. And you have to just slug your way through the mud for however many years or days or months or whatever the duration is to get to the reward. And that's okay. And you might not like the journey. And again, that is just part of being a man, at least in my opinion. So if you're in a season of life where you're listening to this and you say, hey, I'm just not liking this journey at all, but I know in my heart it's for the right purposes. This is what I have to do for my family, or it's what I have to do to get back on my feet. I don't like being a landscaper. I don't like digging ditches. I don't like putting up drywall. I don't like whatever you're doing right now that is just a temporary lily pad to get to the next step. I hear you. I feel you. I've had to go through many seasons in my life just like that. Just know that you are not alone. And that's part of the journey, brother. So keep going. The last thing you want to do is quit, because if you quit, you are very likely just going to have to get on a different lily pad that has the same set of circumstances. So anyway, I will leave you guys with that. Oh, Kyle's coming on. Kyle, I actually got a jet in a couple minutes, but I'm glad you came on. What do you feel about, I'm not sure how much you've heard about this, but I want to open it up to you. Giving yourself the choice as a man to select the emotion that you want to display. So you choose the emotion. What say you?
I always choose to select my emotions. I learned that at a very young age, so to speak. Not purposely, but if all my Asian brothers and sisters out there can relate with me, if we were to show emotions or kind of, well, long story short, our parents don't believe in mental health.
Yeah.
So it's quite kind of daunting in the sense of really trying to navigate in expressing our emotions, or even telling them even a bit of what we think about, because either they avoid it, they run away, they don't take accountability, which makes it hard for me growing up, because that trauma type kind of or mindset kind of instills into me, and sometimes here and there where you can notice that, oh, that's like what my parents do, I shouldn't be really doing that in that sense. So I really think it's important to, in a good way, for that good side of things, is really to develop the way how you kind of set your frame for yourself, is how I like to think of it. For the bad side of it is, a lot of people use it as like a mask, and they run away from issues and don't take accountability from it. So I think really trying to manage and understand your emotions is like the best case scenario to really do and learn for yourself.
If you feel a certain way inside, but then you're choosing to display it to your advantage externally, and I shouldn't say to your advantage because that sounds sleazy, but to your benefit and to the benefit of those around you. Healthy, not healthy, what are your thoughts?
I always think it's a loss for me because I let it win. I always think of it as a sense of like it's me and myself and I, We always verse each other. And when someone within your inner self is trying to win, either it's that inner child of yourself, the inner teenager of yourself, or the inner adult from yourself. And they're really trying to take a piece of the pie to I'm on top, so to speak. So every time when I let that second voice win over, then I feel defeated and I feel like, well, like how you said, I never once I was like, well, I'm glad I blew up. It's more of like, I should have tried. I should have tried another pathway to kind of understand that I didn't need to blow up because the power is in your willpower.
Yeah. Ray, what are your thoughts, bud?
I just love listening to what Kyle said, man. A lot of wisdom in there.
And for some reason, you're super low, brother. Maybe my speaker's off. So I really appreciate you guys coming off on this. I just wanted to do a quick little blitz because I do have to run on to a next presentation. Final piece I'll leave you guys with is, right, like, I think we just won that last pitch just now. And the lesson I took away from it was, like, did it suck staying up until 3:10 in the morning and then waking up an hour and 45 minutes later, or 2 hours later, roughly? Yeah, that was not pleasant. However, the commitment that I think we all should have to mastery of a domain, I think, is one of the most important relationships that a man can have. His commitment to mastering his particular skill set. And at times that requires not sleeping. At times that requires not eating. At times that requires not going out. Like, all of those things. I'm not saying you take it overboard. But I'm very happy that I did it. And I just want, if that message serves anybody out there, if, like, you're pondering, hey, should I put in more work? I don't know if it's going to pay off. I could tell you, even if it doesn't pay off, it will pay off. And I hope that makes sense, right? You might not get the deal right now, but you're damn sure get a return on your investment of time put towards your craft and your commitment. Kyle, final words of wisdom, brother.
I don't know if anyone really said this before in the podcast, but I always like the quote from Will Smith: fail first, fail forward." I forget.
Yeah, fail forward is
yeah. So basically, fail forward, fail early, fail often, so to speak.
Yep, love it. Ray the Dogfather, final words of wisdom, my buddy.
Wes, thank you for bringing me on this awesome journey, and a great way to learn mastery over one's emotions is to have a brotherhood or a community where you can talk things through and say, hey, have you ever been in this situation, or am I crazy for doing this? And learn together. And that's, you get the accountability of the team, and you get to crowdsource your, worst fears, ideas, intuitions, whatever they are. So the power of the team is proven once
Yeah,
again.
and Ray, I got to give you a compliment before we jet here, because the very topic that we're talking about, and I challenge anybody to review the tape. We have this all documented for years now. Ray has gone through an unbelievable roller coaster, right? For I would say multiple years. But there's not one time. Yeah, yes. There's not one time where he has shown up here without a smile on his face. Literally. Right? Like that like, look, it's on tape. You can literally go watch every single episode. There's not one time. And I could tell you what Ray tells me behind the scenes sometimes, like before we even hop on, like 1 minute before we hop on, he'll be like, oh, I had this absolutely horrible thing happen to me. And I'm like, when? He's like, I don't know, 7 minutes ago. Let's go live. Yeah, that's just an excellent example of exactly the topic we're talking about here. He is choosing the emotion as a man to be who he needs to be to himself and to the audience that he's trying to serve. So great job, man.
Thank you, Wes. I guess we're resilient creatures. God made us, like,
resilient beasts to navigate this world. And so thank you for reminding me of that, man. I love you, man.
Love you too, brother. All right, dudes. Thank you guys. We'll see you on Monday. Have a great weekend. Later.